Boston Strangler. Is it actually worth watching? Now, this movie's coming straight to streaming, and I know exactly what you guys are thinking. Oh, we're in trouble. Because generally speaking, I mean, I'm not speaking out of my ass on this one, most movies that go straight to streaming are not of the highest quality. However, there can be some surprises. This movie is being released to Hulu in the United States and to Star on Disney Plus in Canada, so we could be in for a fun ride. There's a reason for hope. So let me introduce myself, and then I'll give you my quick thoughts. Hey guys, my name is Brandon, aka the BrandoCritic. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I really do appreciate it. I have my Boston Red Sox hat on because, of course, we're talking about Boston Strangler, which I was able to see a few days early, so I'm here to give you my honest, no BS, non-spoiler review for you today and tell you if it's worth watching. But have you guys seen Boston Strangler? If you have, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Again, guys, there's no right or wrong answer. It's all opinion. So let me know your thoughts of the movie, but make sure you stick around to the end of the video, guys, so that you know my rating of the film, or else you might be going into a film that might not be right for you and could be a complete waste of time on your part. Now, let's begin. So Boston Strangler is written and directed by Matt Ruskin or Ruskin, and he has directed 4 films before, and I haven't seen any of them. I honestly haven't even heard of them. He's got Glen of the Downs, The Hip Hop Project, Booster, and Crown Heights. If you guys have seen any of them, let me know what you think. And it stars Keira Knightley, Carrie Coon, and Richard Cooper. And the story is about the reporter Loretta McLaughlin, who investigated the Boston murders back in the 1960s, aka the Boston Strangler. So what are my thoughts on the movie? Well, I like to try to use terms that might not be the most academic when I'm talking about movies, because I don't want to talk about the pathos and allegories for some certain esoteric concepts. I'm not really about that. I want to talk to you guys like human beings. So a term that I want to talk about is, have you ever heard the term a movie for your dad? Like, oh, what'd you think about this movie? Oh, it's a good movie, but it's like made for my dad. So for that example, you know, it's probably about war. It's made in the 1960s. It stars, you know, macho men or really highly acclaimed actors, a real man's movie. So when I think about my father and the movies that he likes, Hunt for Red October, Bridge Over the River Kwai, Gladiator, movies like that. Now the reason why I bring this up is because Boston Strangler, I would say, is a movie for people who really love murder mysteries and those serial killer enthusiasts. But not only that, I would say that this movie is targeted towards older people, and specifically older women, because this movie is a period piece and it does deal with sexism in the workplace and of just the society at the time. So older, stay-at-home women who love murder mysteries and serial killer podcasts, stories, specials on Netflix, those kind of people, I believe, will really enjoy this movie. This is a good movie, but I think that if you're that type of person, this movie is right up your alley. Because this is one of those movies where you can go down the film school report card and go down every single line and just put good next to it, B+, and that could be the review. That's like the really simple review. How's the acting? It's good. How's the story? Check mark. It's good. How's the pacing? Check mark. Good. Production design, sound, cinematography. It's a good movie. There's no real problems with this movie, except for maybe one, but this is more of a personal thing. The movie is just an overall good time. But let's dive deeper. Keira Knightley is our star in this movie, and I have loved her since I saw her in Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl when I was 8 years old. Yeah, one of the first times I really had a crush on someone on the big screen, but I've seen her in lots of movies: Pride and Prejudice, Love Actually, King Arthur. She definitely is typecast in Hollywood in The Atonement, Anna Karenina, Pride and Prejudice, that corset-wearing period piece drama actress, which is unfair, sure, but hey, she's had a really great career, and she's also really good in this movie. And I'm of the opinion that if your movie has a star in it with charm, charisma, and commands the screen, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to continue watching the movie. Now, she has an American accent in this, and I remember her having one in the Jack Ryan movie with Chris Pine about 10 years ago, and Everest. Did she have an American accent in that? I'm genuinely blanking on that. She might have been British in that movie, who knows? But either way, in this movie, I thought that her American accent was actually pretty good. But going back to what I was saying about commanding the screen, Keira Knightley is that actress. And having a star in your lead role makes it a lot easier to watch when the story could get a little bit confusing or the pacing gets a little bit slow. The main actor keeps you in your chair, watching the screen, being engaged in what's happening, and wanting to know what happens next in the story. I'll be honest, there were a couple times where I was going, man, this movie's getting pretty slow, and yes, the story is getting quite confusing, but Keira Knightley kept me in it. So yes, the story did get a bit more confusing as the film went on, because as they investigate more murders, we have more victims, and we have more backstories, more names to remember, and we don't actually meet these people. We just hear about the murders, and of course we have Keira Knightley and Carrie Coon having to go behind the scenes and ask people who knew the victims, ask the police department, ask the lawyers, ask the DA, the judges, all these different people, and you learn more about the backstories, like, oh, this person was having an affair with this person has motive to kill this person because of this and this and this, and it gets very difficult for me, at least, to really pinpoint all the dots because we don't actually see these people. We don't actually meet or know these people in the story. So it did get quite confusing at times, and that's where I was like, okay, this is where the movie is really dragging for me. And it was quite hard to keep track. But if you guys are enjoying this video so far, hit the like button. Thank you so much. But other than those moments, this movie did keep me engaged for a large majority of it. For example, when you see Loretta breaking down the sexism walls in the workplace and in society, it's engaging. Of course, you have all the other women reporters and they're doing pieces on the new stovetop, the new dresses, or the different ways that you can raise your kids, more traditional gender role kind of stuff. But she wants to work on the homicide case. She wants to do that kind of reporting, and she has to fight to get what she wants. And I like that in a character. She's determined. When you see her and her husband's relationship, I was very engaged. Of course, Loretta is working so hard on this case that there's a bit of a rift in her relationship with her husband. So she's working so much that she doesn't really have a family life anymore. The dad is basically the one raising the kids, but when he gets a new promotion, then there's a bit of a rift there because he's not gonna be at home so much. And then of course she's getting more into the case. There's some relationship drama there. The sister-in-law doesn't like her because of it, yada, yada, yada. That stuff is engaging. And when you see her go on the offense in this investigation, and when she gets a really big piece of info, it is very engaging. For example, in one part of the movie, she's so mad at the Boston Police Department because they're not willing to share evidence with different sections of the department. It's very hard for them to find a link between all these murders. So she writes a piece talking about how incapable the Boston Police Department is. And hey man, that's ballsy, especially for a woman to do that at that time. It gave me a lot of respect for her character. And when she pieces all of her clues together and she gets that one big piece of information and then goes on to the next investigation, it acts as a good recap for us. And it's a big like, oh my goodness. It feeds the audience little by little by little, keeping them engaged. Sure, there's a lot of names and there's a lot of people to memorize, but the movie does do a good job at keeping you up to date with a couple of recaps throughout the movie. So overall, I enjoyed Boston Strangler. My rating is going to be a 3 out of 5. So thank you guys so much for watching my review of Boston Strangler. If you liked the video, definitely hit the like button. If you want to subscribe for more videos, definitely hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much in advance. And if you want to support the channel even further, then consider joining my Patreon page. The link is down below in the description. We have monthly watch-alongs where we discuss a certain movie. We do video chats. You guys get to see content early, and I give you guys movies every single month. So if that interests you, then join the Patreon family. The link is down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.